my friends, and welcome to part 79 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Let's Play series. So in today's episode, I want to first go over some announcements. So first of all, the first announcement will be on the Duelist Cup. Just as something I kind of thought of with looking at videos too. It might be a good idea to at least I was gonna suggest it, but the only thing that sucks is that if you go here, you don't actually get to see the person's deck. Oh, and I think the first place player changed. First place I think changed because apparently they considered turning off crossplay as cheating. Which, I mean, that was their fault. So I feel bad for that Farfa guy. I feel whoever that Farfa guy is, if that's the only thing he did, I feel like he should still get something. Because that is definitely not cheating in my opinion. That is something that they just overlooked. And just because someone took advantage of something they overlooked, how is that guy supposed to know that that would be considered cheating? I was just about to do the same thing myself. I wasn't going to try to grind as far as he did though. But I was just about to think to do the same thing myself just to get to second stage. But then I ran out of time and it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah. So yeah, you can let me know what you think. Would that be considered cheating? Would that not? I mean, I know there's the whole thing about if you turn off crossplay, that means a lot of the good opponents you may not have to face anymore. And if there's not a whole bunch of players on the Xbox or PlayStation side of things, then it may make it easier for those Xbox or PlayStation if crossplay is off. But still, I don't think something they overlook should be the fault of the player. You can let me know what you think. Oh yeah, and I was gonna suggest you can look at the decks here, but unfortunately I don't think there's really a way. I mean, maybe you could see his replay. Oh, here we go. This is how you do it. So you gotta go into his... Oh. I guess what you could do is you could see some of his replays, and then you kind of get an idea of the deck. I think Macedon Meta might also save a few replays, macedonmeta.com or whatever it's, yeah, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, I guess this is another sort of way you can do it. So apparently he was playing okay, now I have no idea who is that one of these supposed to be the guy, because I don't recognize the username. I don't know. He might have... these might not be necessary as Duelist Cup replays either. I don't know. I don't know what they are. But yeah. So I guess that's not such a great idea after all. But the other announcement I want to say is since my Let's Plays are starting to get a bit expansive, maybe a bit too expansive, I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to play all the loner decks, and I'll save the My Deck duels. I'll put those in a separate playlist, and I'll play those at a separate time. So for the actual Let's Play series, we'll go over all of the loner decks and everything. And then for those of you who want to see the My Deck duels, which I don't think matter as much to the lore, you can check them out. But they'll be in a separate playlist, and it won't be for a while. I still need to get through this gate before I do the My Deck duels thing. So I'll just wait until then. But yeah, I'll let you know more details once it's coming up to that. But for now, I have all of the I have a whole new gate to get through, because I recently finished the Powers of the Planet in the last part. I was able to get through 2 duels with the My Deck in 20 minutes, which was really nice. I had to do a little bit of editing, but I thought it was worth it. Oh, actually I didn't go through the... Oh, wow, this is a really short one, so that's actually kind of cool. They may add to it later on, but still, I like that short. So yeah, here's the gate details. The fairies who paint the weather patterns they weave become continuous spell and trap cards which bless the field and the fairies themselves with amazing effects. Uncover the secrets to winning the powers of the ever-changing weather. So yeah. Okay, so now I gotta go through this scenario, and here's the cards, or at least the artworks that will appear in this scenario. So yeah, the weather, paint of snow, and I won't really go to the deck because they already like do that in the practice. So, but I guess I could like bring up some things like that they don't mention, maybe. So yeah, weather, paint of snow. You don't really need to know the effects, but here they are if you'd like to know them. Pretty cool. They're all about placing the they're all about utilizing the weather spells and traps. And then the weather spells and traps are basically like there to help like support the weather monsters. So like it's pretty cool. Yeah, and then for this I get 150 blue orbs, which are of course used to unlock some of the locked gates. Here we go. The fairies who paint the weather. Okay. A little girl gazed out the window at the scenery outside as it rained. Watching the girl, her mother called to her. "You don't like rain, do you?" "No, I don't. It's boring when it rains because I can't play outside." The girl replied without turning around, but her voice betrayed her sour mood. "Mom, why does it rain?" The mother replied to a child whose inquiry was so direct. "It rains because the weather fairies are working on behalf of all of us." Man, that's not true. Perhaps due to an unexpected answer, the girl now turned to her mother with an intrigued expression. Her mother began to speak. "There are weather fairies in the sky who use magical paintbrushes and crayons to deftly draw pictures in the sky. I hope none of you are believing any of this, because this is not why weather occurs. The pictures turn into weather, delivering blessings to all." Seemingly fond of the expression, drawing pictures in the sky. The little girl left the window to sit on her mother's lap on the sofa, where she waited for her to continue the story. I know this is what parents do, so let me know how you feel about that, like making up stories like that to like explain the rain, other weather, or other scenarios. Like, I know that like stuff like that happens, but I don't really care for like trying to like make up stories myself. Like I think it's better like that the child knows the truth right out the gate, because then they won't like, because then they'll know. Like I feel it's better like to know the truth rather than to believe lies. Because what if like, because what if that like the child like keeps believing it even when they're growing up? I think they'll probably not, like, because like then they'll be taught differently, but like that could cause problems. I don't know, like in school, if they're taught differently, they might say like, hey, that's not what I learned from my mom and pop. I mean, I know it probably doesn't happen a lot, but still, like, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. A window for unlocking locked chapters in solo mode. That might also partly be because of my religion. I want to believe the stuff that my religion tells me. And Christianity, of course, in case you guys didn't know. But it should be pretty obvious based on those verses I post. Anyway, here's the... Oh, I should probably... Oh, wait, yeah, I can look at my loaner deck. That's fine. I won't be using a lot of it, but here's the loaner deck if you're interested in that. And then the deck description reads... Use the effect of Valhalla, Hall of the Fallen, special summon fairy-type monsters like those from the weather. This deck also includes fairy-type monsters whose effects deal damage to your opponent, such as Marshmallow and Athena. Use them to your advantage to push your opponent closer to defeat. Oh yeah! The weather painters are also fairies, so that can raise some cool inclusions, like that one fairy that like basically special summons herself while you control exactly 4 in the graveyard, and then when she special summons, your opponent cannot special summon any monsters. I forget her name, but she would be probably a good inclusion in a weather painter deck. Maybe you could even combine it with the agents. I mean, I know they're like a mix of different archetypes, and the agents primarily like light, I think. But it could work. It might work. I mean, the agents and the weather painters are both fairies. Maybe. Anyway, here's what they came up with. There's that Marshmallow, since it's also a fairy. Probably wouldn't play Marshmallow though in like really any deck, even like if it is a fairy deck, because Marshmallow is kind of just push out of the meta. Here, actually, I'll go through this scroll a little bit. I'm gonna have to like hurry up and like complete this, but like even if it does go to time, I can always just edit it a little bit as I usually do some when it goes over. I don't think like any of you really need to hear that, like you probably already heard it enough, but like yeah, a lot of duplicates in the X deck. 3 Opelousas, I feel like that might be like overkill. Of course, since this is just practice, I won't be using much of the many of the X deck cards anyway. I'll also show. I'll probably, yeah, I should probably show the opponent's deck also. But since this is only practice, it probably won't take as long. I'll probably just do the practice, and that'll be it for today. After that. So what makes the weather deck unique? Use the weather, continuous spell, and trap cards to grant you the weather monsters various effects, and aim to link summon the weather painted rainbow. That's basically their boss monster. Their boss link monster, at least. After the weather monster uses one of those effects, they will be banished until your next standby phase. Having your monsters leave the field before they can be destroyed by an opponent's effect can be a good strategy to keep them protected. But use those effects in moderation to prevent your field from thinning out too much. Oh yeah, you probably want quite a few monsters on the field for the weather painter spells and traps to work better. Yeah, because it says the weather effect monsters in your main monster zones of this card's column and its adjacent columns gain this effect. You can manage this card, then target one spell or trap your opponent controls. Quick effect, return to hand. That's pretty good. You can only control one the weather remaining canvas. That can be pretty good for like field spells that have a hard once per turn. They try activating the field spell, and then if you just return to the hand, it basically also negates a field spell, meaning they can't just like activate again and use that turn. Also, that can work with like continuing spells that have hard once per turns as well. Use the effects of the cards in your hand to link summon the weather painter rainbow. Firstly, special summon the weather painter rain using Valhalla Hall of Fallen, which reads that if I control no monsters, I get to once per turn special summon a fairy monster from my hand. And that is not a hard once per turn, so if you have more than one of these and you get an empty field again somehow, you can just like activate another one and like do it again. But most of the time you're only going to be activating like for mainly just a starter play, since you need to control no monsters. Now special summon the weather painter sun using celestial transformation, which allows me to special summon a fairy monster from my hand. So that's pretty cool. See, there's some pretty good fairy support out there. Next, normal summon the weather painter snow and use this effect to place the weather rainy canvas. Cool. I think Yeah, this one allows me to place a weather spell or trap directly to my field. And then the weather raining canvas is the one that they showed in the example. The one that returns spells and traps to the hand. So now the weather monsters will now gain the effect of being able to banish themselves in order to return spell or trap that your opponent controls to your hand. Yeah, use these effects to your advantage and make sure the duel continues in favor before you've even prepared your link summon. Now you have 3 the weather monsters together. Try link summoning. Okay, so I think I can go into, yeah, the weather painted rainbow right away. There you go. Oh yeah, and a few of them have graveyard effects as well. I don't think, wait, no. And technically, since this is still in an adjacent column to this card, this link, it will still gain the effect of being able to banish a card, of being able to like return spell trap to my opponent's hand. Fortunately, I have to banish a card, and it doesn't say that comes back afterwards, so that kind of sucks. Although now I have that and I can negate a summon. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Unfortunately, even for this one, like when she banishes to negate a summon, or when a card effect is activated and she banishes. Oh, or you can, oh, that negated summon, special summon would be sending this card to the graveyard. Oh, once per turn during the same phase of the turn after this card was banished from the field to activate the weather card's effect, including her own. Oh wait, no. The weather effect monsters this card points to gain the following effect. Oh, okay, so she doesn't have this effect. The one she points to does. Oh, okay. So at least that's kind of cool. So now she, like, even if she does get banished due to the spell card's effect, she can come back with her own effect after being banished. That's kind of cool. Unfortunately, she can't come back if she was sent to a graveyard for her own effect to like negate the special summon. Anyway, here's what the opponent's deck looks like, and then I'll take off. Here, I'll just say the goodbyes while I'm doing this. Here, you can feel free to read the... Actually, I guess I'll read the deck description real quick. A deck that teaches you the basics of the weathers. This deck includes a fairy type monsters support card, Celestial Transformation, to make it easier for you to summon the weather monsters with the weather spell and trap cards. Special summon the weather pain of rain. Use this effect to link summon the weather pain of rainbow. And the opponent's deck is called Clear Skies Ahead. I don't think I need to give you a warning because you're probably not seeing much of the opponent's deck anyway, since it's just a practice duel. Anyway, here's what it looks like, and I'll go ahead and say my goodbyes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you did. And please consider ringing that notification bell for regular content. I think I'll probably be doing more of the solo mode Let's Play tomorrow and Sunday, but we'll have to see. Maybe something else will come up. But I think it will most likely just be the Let's Play again. The next part of that. And then, as a reminder, next week I'll be starting up SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated on Tuesdays and Thursdays at least. Okay. So, there's the deck. Bye.